Noel Miller here again, self-care expert, and we're going to talk about what I think is the trickiest kind of association with self-care, and is making sure self-care or your action of self-care is not just a compensation or a reaction to something. Now, commonly, those are really how we use what we consider self-care actions. We get stressed out, we do something to alleviate that stress, we consider this self-care. That's not true. Or we find ourselves in a situation, and the most common thing we can think of is, let's say, stretching. So we do stretching, and we're like, oh, well, I'm really doing good with my self-care. Or we might set up a bunch of different tasks. I do stretching, I do exercise, and I do meditation. This is a great way for me to self-care. Those things in themselves are good actions, but they have to come from the right place for the right reason. And this is where it gets tricky to really figure out what self-care is. Now, if they come from a place of just being overwhelmed, they're more of a reaction. You didn't think about it, you just kind of did it because it's going to solve the immediate problem. And because it's only solving the immediate problem, it has to continually be done over and over again to create that that space of kind of relaxation and stress-freeness. But we can say if we really were to delve into the self-care aspect, we wouldn't have to use it as much. It'd actually kind of reduce itself in use because we're hitting it more at the core. And that, I think, is the greatest challenge of kind of figuring out what is really a self-care element versus reaction or compensation. So this is truly why you need a professional in the industry to help you kind of navigate that thing. Self-care is a really big thing. It kind of spills over into all aspects of health, especially personal health. And the best way to navigate it is definitely with a guide or a professional in that industry. Now, another common thing that I find is tricky with self-care is the fact of when are we kind of coming from the right place with it? Self-care can be very powerful if utilized appropriately, but most of the time we don't use it that way. And it is truly a way of thinking about how we're living our lifestyle. And the best way to kind of put it or sum it up is that what you do for exercise, activity, or nutrition really is not too much of a big deal. It can be anything until the lifestyle is out of balance and out of whack. Then appropriate specific action is needed, but only when things are really out of balance. And we can see this when somebody is trying to become healthy, therefore selects a lot of specific actions to become healthier, but the lifestyle is not supporting it. In this way, we definitely need the self-care element, which is kind of the bridge of personal care and the healthcare industry. And this also incorporates the person taking responsibility for actions to alleviate their stresses or stress on their body and to create an environment that supports health or lifestyle that does so as well. And this is where the true power, the bridging power at least, of self-care lies.